There we go. Okay, good morning, everybody, again. And so Remine, again, let me tell you guys, is a new system that gives you the data, it's not like the MLS data or the tax record. It combines both, actually. It takes the MLS, the public records, it gives you an AVM, which is automated valuation model, several automated valuation models, so you can look at prices on a property to compare, to look at the information. In addition to that, you also have you also have the credit reports. If you invite your clients to use this system, once you send them an invitation, it's up to the client if they want to know their credit score from Equifax or not. So they can register for that if they want. If they don't have to, but they can still use the system. One good thing about this system also is I'm going to show you how we can take the data. You can do prospecting. You can try to farm a particular area or a neighborhood or a community. So we can take that information. You can see information directly right on the map, which I'm going to show you. So this way you can use that information, to find possible buyers, sellers, all that information. It's really great information that you get out of this system. Okay, and this right here just tells you that it empowers you guys to view these more data in a modern platform. I just told you what type of data we're going to get, and I'm going to show you more actually. Okay, the version that we use as Las Vegas Realtors is the Pro version, and to you guys it might not mean much, but if the association does not provide you the Pro version, that is an additional $200 a month out of your own pocket. Imagine if you're working in a different location and you would like to use Remine at that other place, and since you don't have it, you have to spend $200 a month for all these data that I'm going to show you. All right, let's talk about today's topics. First thing is getting into Remine. So we're going to talk about how to access it. It's very easy. It's the same as going into Matrix, except after you get to the single sign-on page, you just click Remine instead of Matrix. That's the only difference. I'm going to show you. Once you're on the inside Remine, the first thing that will appear is the daily cards. So you see those cards. There's 7 of them. I'll explain to you what you can do with them. You can, there's a lot of data from that too. When we're done with the cards and that home page, we move on to searching. I'm going to show you all the filters that you guys get, because you can get filters from like the price value, that you can get filters of in the mortgage interest rate people are paying in a particular area. You can get filter from a lot of information. Okay, flood zones, you have, well, that doesn't mean much to Las Vegas, but if you're in like Pahrump or Laughlin or somewhere else, yeah, you might want to know that. So there's a lot of searching we're going to do, data information that we're going to look at, including seller score, which is really cool. After we're done with the searching, we're going to take some of the properties that we find, we're going to put them in a shopping cart. Once those properties are in a shopping cart, you're wondering, why do I want to do that, right? Well, from a cart, what you can do is you can export that information into a CSV file or convert it into Excel, and then you can do mail merge with Microsoft Word, so you can write letters, send it to people, or you can send mailers. Mailers, the system can create postcards for you to send out, or those break aparts or letters also, so that you can do that from here directly too. Or if you don't want to use these 2 options, you can also print labels. So then create your own marketing campaign, and then print out the labels and send them out. So those are the options from the shopping cart. That's why we put properties in a shopping cart, so we can do this. When we're done, I will open up a property. Then I'm going to share with you what information is included in a property. It's not just like if a property is listed, yeah, you're going to see the listing information, the tax public record information, and there's quite a bit of information. You can even see the school's information, for example, if you want to know the school information for this property. I'm going to show you the associated people, all that, you know, and the valuation model, the automated valuation model also, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to show you how to add contacts to the system, so you can import your contacts from whichever system you want. If you export them from Outlook, you can import them into here, or from any other database, but we can take any CSV file and then import it in here, okay? So that's adding contacts or importing them. When we're done bringing them in, the next thing you need to do is you can invite your buyers to step one, invite to step one. Once you invite them, that's where they can obtain their credit score if they choose to. It's going to be a soft hit. It's not like they're applying for a loan right now. Okay, if they apply for a loan, that's a hard hit. So they're going to get a soft hit. Okay, when we're done with that part, we'll move over to settings, and I'll explain to you how you can get a page where you can do lead generation. It's pretty nice. It's a marketing page. Like you can use, people can click on that page. They can go to your social media websites, you know, Facebook business page, things like that, or Google Map if you add that, all that stuff in there. So we're going to create one of those. And in settings, you can also send yourself the login information so you can access the app from your cell phone or the device, whatever other device, a tablet, for example. Okay, so these are the topics today. Wow, there's a lot of information you're going to go through today. Like I said, this class does not cover Remine Docs, folks, in case you just joined us. Okay, so to get into Remine, we use the same address like Matrix, las.mlsmatrix.com, but we're not going into Matrix, you know that. This address takes you to after you go to the page, you log in, and then it brings you into the single sign-on page. From the single sign-on page, well, you log in with your public and private ID. From the single sign-on page, you'll find this logo, the Remine. It looks like a blue guitar pick. So that's the button you need to click on instead of Matrix. And that's how we get into Remine. Okay, but folks, if you want to stay for this class, that's fine. But if you also want to learn Remine Docs, of course, everybody must have been keeping up with the news lately about that we're changing over from Transaction Desk over to Remine Docs. If you go to our website, Las Vegas Realtor, no S, LasVegasRealtor.com. Log in, public private ID. Once you're logged in, you all see the calendar up here. There's a calendar up here. When you click that calendar, you can find all the classes, every single class. I guess I'm the only one teaching today. Okay, but if you're interested, again, you can stay and learn part of Remine and then Docs also. But Docs, you see, we had some last week taught by Teresa. And let me see what's the next one. So if you click here, there's a Matrix new member. Some of the classes are hiding when you click more. That's why you have to see them all. And you see the ones for Remine are green, so this way. And the orange ones, most of the orange ones are CE credits. You need to take your ethics, remember? So if in case you haven't done your 2-year ethics, don't forget that, okay? And then there's the Matrix classes that are in red. My classes and Matrix classes are all in red. And so there is, I guess, no more Remine Docs until next year. So on the 3rd of January. So if you're planning on taking that, the 3rd of January, maybe Teresa will be out because I'll be out on the last week also of December. So yeah, so if you're interested, the next Remine Docs is going to be on January 3rd. Once you come to this calendar, simply click, do you want to take it on Zoom? Oh, they're all Zoom apparently. Sometimes she has them in person class too, so pay attention here. Hi, honey. Yeah, I think that Teresa records them, and you might have to contact her for the videos. And I don't know where she puts them, unfortunately. If I did, I will tell you. No, Stuart, there's no software to replace Matrix. AuthentiSign will be Remine Docs because AuthentiSign is part of Transaction Desk, Stuart. Okay, but no, this Remine is not going to replace Matrix. Okay, so that's how you get into. Did I get out of there? Okay, let's return back to las.mlsmatrix.com. For some reason, oh, this takes me right to Matrix because I'm already logged in right here. Okay, so so over here, here's where we are in the single sign-on page when you go to las.mlsmatrix.com. And if you already are signed into this page and you type the address again, it brings you right into Matrix. I'm not going to talk about Matrix today, so let's return back to the single sign-on page. Okay, so here's that blue guitar pick. You see that? And right next to it is Remine Docs. You see, this is separate, but they're both, you know, same company. So Remine again is after RPR. So let's go to Remine. The blue guitar pick. The blue guitar pick. All right, so over here you have the date, you have the weather. I like the weather, so well, it's really nice, isn't it? 47 degrees over here. When you click this, it gives you the forecast, folks. So it's going to get a little warm until Saturday. Sunday's going to get cool again. This is kind of nice. So you know if you need to bundle up when you show properties, right? So on top you also have a little wheel that you can set the zip code. So you click here, and then just type in the zip code, Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then hit enter or click done. All right, and that's how you can set that. Hi, Brenda. If you don't see the Remine Docs, you'll be right here on the left-hand side of Remine. If you need that, if you need to access it and you don't see it, okay, just in case. Hi, Melissa. I do not have a date. Nobody here knows yet because we just extended it. Okay, so over here you have these cards. These are the and there's the quick action right here too. The quick action is the invite to client. Remember, when you send the invitation to your clients, there will be that's when they can obtain their credit score if they choose to. Okay, so that's the invitation. This is where you can create a safe search. And when you create a safe search, this is like saving a search, but I'm not going to talk about that because if you want to save a search and turn on the auto notification or the auto email, I would suggest you do it from Matrix because Matrix has a lot more fields than Remine does. Like I said, Remine has other type of data, which is what I'm going to show you. You can chat with anybody. You can chat with any members, any realtors, your broker, people in your office, you know, listing agents. If you have questions for somebody, you can start a chat with anybody, even your own clients. You can do that. Next, you have the cards, and the first card that you see that I have here is called the Market Pulse. The Market Pulse just tells you either throughout the entire MLS, or you can pick a particular zip code right here. Click the zip code, enter the zip code. Let's change it to 89118 by the stadium, right? Hit enter. So you see what I did? I just clicked the drop down. I type a zip code and I just hit enter. And once I do that, this is what's going on in this zip code right here, 89118. And you can scroll down. Let me scroll down so you can see more right here. You see that? So this is what's going on in the zip code 89118 for the past 30 days. So if I click here, you can also set it to today only, yesterday, the past 7 days, or up to 30 days, the activity in that zip code. If you want to, you can also go to this little wheel up here. This wheel allows you to delete this card if you no longer want to see this information, or you can duplicate the card. When you click duplicate, it's like making a copy of it. And then once you copy it, you can put other zip codes. If you want to monitor several zip codes in your area, you can do that by duplicating this card and then just change the zip code. These little buttons on the top right corner allows you to drag the card or move it. So I can move it all the way to the end if I want. You see that? Just drag it. Hold the left click down and drag it. And you can move these cards around. So everybody's screen will be different. All right, so that's the Market Pulse. The next one that I have on this on my screen is my listings. So if you have listings right now, you see right here, I have my listings and all statuses. So you can also, if you have no listings, you can switch it over to your office. So you can keep track of your office listings if you want to look at your office listings. I'm going to leave it my listings. And next to it, you have statuses. What status you want to see? So if you have active listing, hi Tara, how did I get market pulse? If you don't see it on your screen right here, you can always add it up here. Just go to add new card and market pulse is right here. So just click it and then it adds another. See, now I have 2 market pulses. But if I don't need one of them, I simply click the wheel and delete it. And if you delete them all, you can always add them back. Okay, so this one that we're looking at right here is my listings, and the statuses are here. So if right now it's set to all status. So if I only want to see my active listings, I click active and I can only view right here my active listings. So, but there are other statuses here that you can see, like active under contract. That one doesn't sound like our MLS has that, right? But we do actually. You're welcome, Tara. Active under contract on our system is called the UCS, under contract show. That's our active under contract. We don't use cancel. That status we don't have in our MLS. The close are for sold listings and also for the listings that are leased and history. So close covers history, which is the listings that have been sold or leased for more than a year, sold and leased. Coming soon is here too. Expire are the X listings in our system. Hold, those are the T status. Pending are the UCNS, under contract, no show, that's pending. And last but not least, we have the withdrawn. So these are the statuses. Next, you have Twitter. Right now, the Twitter, the default, it follows Remine. So if you're a Twitter fan and you like to follow people on Twitter, you can enter the username of whomever you want to follow, and you can just type it in here. That's it. So you can follow the tweets. Sorry. Okay, next you have the engage. The engage part is when you send the invitation. This way you can track what has happened to the invitations you sent. I have 20 contacts here. I'm probably going to delete them and re-import them back in here. How many people have invited? I've invited 10 people, and how many have registered? So this is part of the step 1 invitation after you invite them. This is how you can keep track of. Next, you have the listing updates. This is kind of neat. Listing updates lets you keep track again of a particular zip code. I have 89118 again here, and you can change it by clicking here for the past 7 days. And you can do 1, 7, or 30. So for the past 7 days, the past week, in this zip code 89118, there has been a coming soon, an active listing, sold. A couple of them sold right here. You see, on this one went under contract, no show. This one went under contract, show, and so on. So if you want to look at any of these listings, you can simply click it and it brings you the information like this. It opens up a new tab and here's the information of this property. We'll talk about the properties later. This is the property information. Okay, so this one allows you to click on the listings to view the information. The market pulse doesn't let you do that. It just tells you in general. Okay. Now to the right of the listing updates, I have save searches. In the save searches, that's where you can look at the private. This is kind of like the Remine auto email. So I told you guys, if you want to set up the auto email, stick with Matrix, the MLS, because it's live. Matrix is live. This is a data feed here. Share with clients, and share with clients these are the save searches that my clients are getting listings from. Again, these are all listings. All right, next and last, we've reached to the last card here, and our last card here is called property notifications. The property notifications is properties that you put in the shopping cart, and once you put them in there, what has happened to those property, right? If you wonder. So like some of these have changed or they have been listed. It tells you any type of changes here, right here. Like this one, 1500 Willow Bark Court, the deed information has been updated. So when you click here, you can see the property again. It brings you the property record, and then you can scroll down to the owner information and see what has changed. I'll show you that later. So again, this one has, the mortgage has been updated. So, and when I scroll down, you see a lot of mortgage updates. So people are probably getting they're refinancing their properties with low interest rates, right? This one is listed. Look, the list price change, it tells you it went up $5,000. Okay, deed information changed, price changed, this one dropped. Okay, a lot of things happening because I have a ton of properties in here on my shopping cart. Okay, so these are the cards, and this is the daily. This is the main page of Remine. So and these are all the cards you can look at. But let's move on to the fun part, the real good stuff. We're going to go into the search right here on the left hand side. Click search. This is the menu, by the way. So where do you want to go? Okay, so right now we're in search. The first thing I'm going to mention or talk about is this bar up here. You see that this is a search bar, and what can you search with this bar? Check this out. You can search places, and when you search places, you can just simply enter an address. When you enter an address, it's the same like you do in the MLS. Just use the street number and street name. So you see this address right here, 4230 Alcarison. So that's the street number. Alcarison is the street name. You don't need the street designation or suffix, which is street, avenue, boulevard. You don't need that. Just street number and name. That's how you can search, look up any properties. Just enter the street number and name here. If you run into a condo, then you get a long list of suggestions that have all the units. And from there, you just click the correct unit number. So if you're looking for condos, it's like you see, I have this address from a previous search, 2799 Gallant Hills Drive. So I will have just entered 2799 space Gallant Hills. So this is the best thing you can do or use. So whenever you need information on a particular property, enter the address and then just click it right here. You see, these are the suggestions. 2799, 2796, 2792, in case the street number you entered does not exist. Maybe somebody gave you wrong information. Okay. Besides an address, you can also search cities, zip code. Look at this, neighborhoods. But we don't call them neighborhoods here, do we? We call them community names. So if you know a particular community name, you can search it right here. I can search, for example, Peccole Ranch. Okay, Peccole, 1 C or 2? I think it's 2 C's, but let me see. Neighborhood, yeah. When I scroll down, even when I misspell it, the suggestions, when I scroll down, I find neighborhoods, and Peccole, it has 2 C's, right? So there's Peccole Ranch. I don't have to respell it again. I can just click it right here, boom, and it gives me that community. Click, and look, it brings me right to Peccole Ranch. So you can pull up community names, even if you misspell it like I did. Okay, so here's neighborhoods. You can search MLS region. Nobody uses that, but check this out. The last one, which is cut off, they always cut off the good stuff. You can also search schools. So if you want to know the school boundaries of a particular school, you can search it right here. Let's say I'm looking, my client is interested on their teenage son to go to Durango High School, right? I can just type Durango space high. And then, well, Durango High is not a city, right? So I'm going to scroll down, and under schools, here's Durango High School. Check that out. Find the school, click it, and look, it gives me the boundary on the map. There you go. Okay, so if you're searching boundaries, and then you want to maybe pick an area inside this boundary, so this way you can look up, do your research, do whatever you like to do. Okay. And every time I enter something, look, it keeps appearing right here. These are all my filters now. So, and there are 15,000 results. That's way too many to go through, isn't it? So when I zoom out, you see here's Peccole Ranch, here's the Durango High School, and I included ownership time from my previous class. So, but if you want to start all over, take all of these out. There's a button called clear all filters on the right hand side here. You see that? When you click that, it resets and you start from scratch. One thing also, you need to be very careful when you're searching places. You all see on the right hand side, I have nationwide search. If you check this box and you enter an address, you're going to be able to find any address throughout the entire country. So be careful. Hi, Erica. Yes, this is being recorded and I'm going to send you a copy. Okay. So yeah, so when I enter an address, be careful when you enter an address because it's going to give you suggestions everywhere. Texas, New York, Florida, California, Oregon, everywhere. So when I enter, you see, I'm going to use the null address, 1111 Heritage Drive. Let me see if another address exists somewhere else. Heritage. Heritage is pretty common, isn't it? It looks, look, here you go. Here's the example. You see, it's telling me, oh, there's the Heritage Parkway in Mansfield, Texas. Look at that. When you have this check, so be careful, okay? All right. So that's places. I'm going to show you something really scary. It's cool, scary, but you guys are all professionals, right? Make sure that you stay being professional. You can search people. Check that out. I can search like my friend. If I have a long lost friend, I can look them up here. So when I click here, people first, you see I still have nationwide search checked. So from here, I can just type in my friend's name. I think I misspelled it, right? There's a C in there. Okay. So when maybe there's no C. You need to know how to spell your friend's name, I hope, I think. Okay, so you can put in their first name, last name, space, and then a zip code of a previous place they lived in. And you see, this friend of mine is not even in Nevada. So when I type in his first name, last name, and then a zip code. The reason you want to type in a zip code is just in case you the person you're looking up is John Smith. You know, can you imagine how many John Smith the system will have? So that's why when I type in his first last name, I include a zip code, and then here's my suggestion or results. Okay, and hi Ned. Oh, the clear filters is on the top right here, Ned, in case you missed it. Okay, so when I find my friend, I can click. This is how you can find long lost friends. All right, so then you should look at this information that I get out of the system. It has his previous addresses, and it also has his information right here. And to keep you out of trouble, the system also lets you know if they're in the do not call list. But since he's my friend, I'm not gonna, all I want to do is give him a call, say hello, right? Because he knows me. He's not like this is a stranger. So the do not call does not apply in this case. But if you're trying to do marketing campaigns, yes, the do not call then will apply, okay? Because you don't know that person. And then look, you also get email addresses here. And look, another thing that we get with the pro version is buy score. So the buy score tells me that he's not a buyer. Okay. And I can also add him to my contacts by clicking this button. One click, and now he's in my contacts. Here's the confirmation you see on the top right. Okay, so pretty cool. You can look up long lost friends and family, I guess, with the system. It's pretty neat. All right, so again, you can search people. Again, enter their first name, last name, and a zip code. You can also search properties. If you don't know the address, maybe somebody gave you a parcel number. Okay, right here, just click APN and type in the parcel number right here. You can search MLS number also. If you are looking up listings, you can look up agents right here. Just type in somebody's first and last name. Let's look up so when I type in like a last name, it finds me every single person's either first or last name. And then you can click see all results in case their name don't appear here. You can just click see all results and boom, you're gonna get everybody, every agent in Las Vegas. This is Las Vegas realtors only, even though this is nationwide. Our MLS is only Las Vegas, and all you can look up any office in Las Vegas. Okay, well, in Southern Nevada, let's be more specific, or any agents in Southern Nevada. The agent could be in Pahrump, could be in Laughlin, it could be in Mesquite. Okay, so, and to get out or to clear this, you can always click the X and then enter a different name or do a different search. So again, you have this bar up here that you can do all that. Look at that. Just I've been talking about this bar for the past 5-6 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. All right, so that's the bar. Next is the you see I still have all this information. Let me clear it. So I'm going to click clear all filters up here. That brings me to, you see, it zooms me into the Las Vegas area. And from here, if you see the numbers right now, these are not listings. You see up here, I have listings or properties. When I click listings, you notice I had that a minute ago or a few seconds ago, you saw a bunch of filters on the left-hand side and they all disappeared because the filter for listings is right here. So if you're looking for only active listings, you can do status, listing type, rental, or for sale. When you click that, you see it, this little thing pops up. And what are you searching, the sale or the rents for rent? If you want to put in a price range, you click here and then you can enter the price range. By the way, skip status. Let's go back to status. And these are the statuses again. Okay. By the way, somebody asked me about live open houses. You can put a live open house, schedule a live open house on with this system too. This was like more during like last year when we were going through the pandemic. You know, at the beginning, people were only doing live open houses. So live open house is another option here. You can search those here if we ever go back to that, okay, to live open house. So this way they can do video open house like Zoom. You have list date, status date, bedroom, bath. These are like criteria pretty much, right? The filters are like criteria to search for listings in this case. But if you're not searching listings and you want to do, like I'm going to show you how we're going to do the prospecting or farming, I'm going to switch it back to properties. So I'm going to switch this from listing back to properties. Hi, Brenda. How I'm looking for homes that are not on the market to find home with casitas. This system doesn't have the casitas field because casitas, Brenda, is in our MLS. Our MLS, casita, is hiding under property description. And this does not have that filter. There's more filters here under advanced. I don't know if they added it. You never know. Sometimes they could have added it. Right here's the building type. This is where you can select what type of property. And look, there's no casitas in here. Okay, and the field that we use is, yeah, well, yeah, the tax record here doesn't either because casita is more like our area here, Southwest, you know, of the country. Most other places call it like mother-in-law quarters, something like that, you know, guest house, things like that. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so you see how where I am right now? I just clicked advance on the top right. How do I get back? You see up here on the top right, it says map results. When I click map, we're back on the map. Okay, so I just showed you the advanced option, by the way. So the advanced option gives you all the filters, everything. So this is just a short list, but if you want to see all the filters, it's right here under advanced. And to return back from advanced, I just click map on the top right. Now let me show you the cool stuff about this map. I'm going to zoom in. Here's Piccole Ranch again. I don't know why I like Piccole. Maybe it rolls right off my tongue. Piccole. All right, so here's Piccole Ranch, and I can draw. You see on the top right on the map, I can draw a shape. So I can just target a small area of Piccole Ranch. Maybe you can do maybe the Southwest, you know, Northeast, whatever side corner that you want to pick. Let's go with the South. So here's Sahara, in case you don't know where we are. Here's Wallapai, and I'm zooming in. Okay. So you see where we are? We're east of Hualapai, north of Sahara. And you see, when I keep zooming in, it looks like this is a little commercial center right here. The more I zoom in, now I can see the little dots. You see the lots of the properties, or no, this is not a lot, but this is like the shape of the building. You see that? So from here, check this out. On the left-hand side, once you're zoomed in close enough, when you can see these little dots, I'm gonna look at the property value in this area. Look at this. When I click the property value, check this out. My map lights up like a like a Christmas tree. So, and the color codes here tells you the property value. Again, property value is just a property value. It's you see this one? I'm sure this owner will not be happy to see their house is less than their neighbors, right? So yeah, this is just in general. So if they put it on the market, they can sell it for, of course, a lot more nowadays, because with the seller's market is going crazy, right? So you see, these are the values. So it's like a general picture, you know. So it's saying that homes with this green is over 500,000. Wow, look at that. And then the lighter green are between 250 and 500. Next, you have the home equity. Check this out. Yeah, the darker the color, the more money, right? The more equity. So yeah, so you see the equity is different, because the equity is based on, this is not perfect either, by the way. Because what the system does, it takes the mortgage information, it does an amortization schedule, then you have the balance. Then they do the AVM. So they take the AVM minus the balance. So they have the, and now you have the equity, right? But that as the result. So it's the AVM again, minus the mortgage balance. But the system might not know the actual mortgage balance, because what if the owner has been putting more towards the principal? Then the mortgage balance is a lot less, and the value, the equity is higher. So there you go. So that's home equity. Check out the next one right here. Ownership time. So if you're targeting people who have lived there for a very long time, you think, oh, they might be ready to move, you know. You can select, I want to target everybody that have lived there for more than 5 years. So you can select those and then apply, and the only properties that will remain will be the ones you selected. And then the results will appear on the right-hand side. Okay, so there we go. So that is ownership time, and you can see all the properties surrounding this area, how long the owners have been living in, or owned it. Sorry, not living in, owned it. Next is sales score. Check this out. This is a cool tool. This is awesome. Look, you can target the high, medium, or low. Doesn't matter. You can target all of them. If you want to do a mailing campaign and I want to target this whole area right here, doesn't matter. But look, there's some green ones in here, so they have a high sales score, and high sales score is most likely to list or sell their property, right? So that's right here, sales score. Next, we have absentee. The absentee owner. If you want to target absentee owners, you have the in-state, out-of-state. The aqua is the owner occupant, and the purple color are corporate. You remember, see that like this corner right here? This is corporate owned commercial. How come there's some here too? Well, yeah, they could be in a trust also, corporate owned or in a trust. So if it's in a trust, you can pull up those properties too. Right here, again, that was under absentee if you're looking for trust or corporate owned properties. I'm scrolling on the left-hand side. I just scroll down, or you can hit the arrow. It's okay too. So that was the absentee. Next is flood zone. So if you're maybe out in Pahrump, Laughlin, and you want to know if this area needs to have flood insurance, you know, so there's the flood zone risk. Next is building type. Hi, Chris. You have a question, and your question is, are you able to import the results of equity search as a data set? Yes, you can. Well, hang on. Let me think. Let me look at your question better. The equity, if you go back to equity, let's go back up here. If you select them, I don't know if you mean import or export, but you select, like I want this one, the 500,000, and apply. You see, these are my results right here. You see that? Thank you. I knew you meant export. You select these 14 properties, put them in a shopping cart, and then from the shopping cart, remember I mentioned you can export. That's where you can export it. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, I'll show you how to do that a little later, but I'm not going to just filter this out. I want everything right now because still in the class. So you're welcome. Hi Nelia. Oh, you're paying attention. High sales score. You like that one, huh? The sales score, again, is right here. Sales score. High sales score is a higher chance for somebody to sell their property. Is this system 100% accurate? Absolutely not. But from my research about this property is that the high sales scores, let me apply it so you can see them on the screen. This has a 50% chance. So the odds are not bad. Okay, so yes. And what's going on? Why is a sales score determination? Do you really want to go there, huh, Nelia? Yes, that's an excellent question. You're not the first one who asked me that. I actually, when I had in-person classes here, that was everybody's favorite question. You see support down here? You click support center. In case I did this too quick, sorry. Back to Remine. Support. This is where I just clicked on, and then I just click support center. When you click this, it goes up. You see this tab opens up. Absolutely, I'm answering your question. Now, how does it calculate, right? So you see the search bar right here. I just type calculate. Well, I even have to spell the entire word. And look, it says here, how does Remine calculate values? I'm going to click it. So that's the article. Remember the net equity I told you? Again, the answer is in here if you need it, okay, in case you forgot. So it takes the AVM minus the loan mortgage balance, and that's your equity. Here's the sales score. You see, last one. How does Remine calculate sales score? Let me open it up. Okay, so what it does, it just pretty much take information about a property, okay, and including its valuation, because the value is high right now, right? So, and then it takes into account the property history, like how often has this property been on the market. Then it goes to the neighborhood averages of the previous two, and then that's how it calculates the sales score. So if there's has been a lot of those happening, these two attributes with that matches, then yeah. But is it accurate? Not 100%, but again, you have a 50% chance if you target those. Okay, so there you go. So that's how they calculate the sales score. Again, you can always go back to this article by going into support and then just search calculation. Okay. All right. That's pretty cool though. Look, there's quite a few in this area. But if you are doing your farming, you're welcome, Nelia. If you're doing your marketing, you never know. This is a computer. Computers, you know, don't know when somebody gets a raise or requires to move somewhere else, you know, or gets a promotion somewhere else. So, okay, so next, let's scroll down. Let's get back to this list right here. I left off on building type. So the building types, it tells you, you know, oh, how come this looks so much bigger? Because they're condos. Okay, and these are single family homes here. See, that's the color code. Next is land use. Of course, these are residential, but here's the commercial one. You see the light blue. Okay, what do we have next? Mortgage rate. Check this out. When I click mortgage rate, you have the mortgage rate these folks are paying. Look at that. Some of them need to refinance. Okay, so that's mortgage rate. Next is mortgage age. How long have they had their mortgage? You see, and the darkest color they are already paid off. So there's no more mortgage on those properties. Okay. We have the last sale price. So you see, these are selling for 500 to 750. Look at that. Actually, they sold for over 500,000. Next, we have the, oh, that was last sale price. Let's scroll down more. We're almost finished. Distressed deals. Check this out. Oh, well, there's nothing here. Those are very rare nowadays. So to find these, like any pre-foreclosure, notice of default, notice of foreclosure sale, or notice of trustee sale, you have to zoom out now and find them because they're all scattered throughout the throughout Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, you know, Henderson. No, Stuart, I did not search. There's no search by builder here. If you're looking for builder, that's in the MLS, search by builder. That you can search by builder name. But here, these are this right here is the distressed deals we're looking at right here. The building type, I think you were referring to. The building type, you know, single family condos right here. What type of building? Not builder type. Building type. Let's scroll back down. We're on distressed deals. So let me zoom out so you guys can see. Let's see if there's any around. I'm sure there is, but not too many. Oops. Distress, let's select them. How's that? And then apply. And there you go. You see, there's some scattered, you know, but they're not that many. Like before, like short sales, things like that. But, you know, when the short sale days were taking over the entire market. Okay, I'm going to zoom back into this area again where we're working. Hualapai and Sahara, and now I can see the little dots. Oh, let's get rid of this first. And then apply. Okay, so these are distressed. Also, you can see cash buyers. So if you're, I don't know, if you're planning on targeting cash buyers, you click this and then it tells you the one that has the dollar sign are cash buyers. Quite a few. Look at that. No, there's no mortgage on some of these, remember? That's why they bought it by cash. And the last option here is CLS. CLS is commercial. We do not provide that information. By the way, if you do that, when you click it, you get this. Okay, and if you wanna subscribe to the commercial location score, that's separate. That service is not included. Okay, to remove the cash buyers, click it again, and now it disappears. Okay, and now you see the word right here where it says search as I move the map. So that's why whenever I apply those filters, the filters only apply to this area right here. This area that we're looking at is because this is the area I'm working. Everything inside the map. But if you only want to work with these properties right here, for example, then I can draw the shape. I can just click here, the polygon, and then just click, 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 and click, and finish. So I can just draw the area that I want to, only the homes that I want to look at or work with. There you go. So now you see there's an overlay polygon, and you can continue drawing polygons throughout the entire other parts of Picola Ranch or another part of this area if you want to. You can just simply click this button again and keep drawing, you know, so you can target multiple locations. Let's say you want this area right here too. Just draw another polygon, okay? And you can draw multiple polygons. And what the more you draw, the results will keep on going up and up, higher and higher and higher. And this is the results. So in that tiny area that I selected, there are only, actually, let me move it back. It's kind of false because remember, search as I move the map. I just moved out of that drawn area. So that's why it went down to the 50s. So when I put the area back in the map or zoom out, I get my 194 back. All right. So again, if you don't want this number to change, uncheck this box. So when you move around the map, you know, this number will stay. All right. So from here, look, there's some properties listed right now for $7.99 in the MLS, right? I don't want the on-market properties. I don't want somebody, you know, to come after me ethically, right? So to remove those, you can add a filter. Let me see if it's here. Add filter. Right here. You see where it says off market? When I click this, I want both sold and off market. Click out. Okay, it doesn't like sold. Let me click here. Just off market then. 191. Okay, so now you see none of these have the for sale on them. Okay, so these are off market. Now, I want to put all these 191 properties in a shopping cart. I want to do, like I said, you can export it, do whatever you like to do. So I'm going to select them all. You see the select all right here. So all 191 results, select them all. Then I'm going to up here, cart. I want to put all 191 properties in a cart. Let's call it Southwest Piccoli. This time I'm spelling it right with 2 C's. Okay, so you see that's the cart name, Southwest Piccoli. And then type it, click here. After you type, click and click. All right. There you go. That's how you put those properties in a cart. Now I can work with those properties here on the left-hand side. I can just move over to carts. Here is the cart I created, Southwest Piccoli. And then here are the properties, you see? So from here, look at my screen. Do you see this information that you see here? You can customize this grid so you can see information. Earlier, who was that who asked me about the equity? You see I have equity here. Check that out. Oh, this is a negative. Whoa, interesting, huh? So now how did I add equity and put it on my screen? Do you see on the top right, manage columns? You click manage columns and you see equity. Let's pretend I don't have it. Okay, so you see when you find equity or whichever field or information that you want to look at, simply click the plus and it moves it over, and then you can organize it. You see, you just drag it up and down. If equity is really important to you, move it all the way to the top. Okay, sales score, estimate value. Do you see some of this fun stuff, fun information I have? Sales score, estimate value, owner, status, days on market, MLS if it's listed. All right, after you're finished, simply click save on the bottom. At the bottom, click save and done. We're done. And look, here's equity now, sales score, estimate value, owner, status. Cool, huh? So this way, from here, if I want to target properties with high equity, I can select those. Look, but look, this is 49,000. I'm going to skip that one. Okay. You can also remove this if for any reason you don't want to. You feel these are not the right audience. You can remove them. To remove this, like the 49,000, I select this, or the negative 900,000. Oh, somebody took a lot of loans. So I select them and then I go to more and I click remove. I can remove those two if I feel like they don't work for me. So type in the word delete, click delete, and these two are gone. So now I went from 191 to 189. All right, once you have all the information, again, that's the reason I set up the grid so I can have information I can look at, you see? So it helps me. So this way I can target the right audience. And the sales score is here. Remember the sales score? Yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? They're all low, medium, high. I don't care. I want to target all of them. And I want to export this data. So before I export, I want to select them all. I click export. So select all, click export, and here we are. I call it SW, Southwest space Piccoli. And then I have some favorite information that I like to export, like mailing address, owner information, estimate value, equity, mortgage loan balance, mortgage amount. So these are my defaults because I've made those my defaults. You can simply click here, find whatever data that you feel is important to you, and just click it, like census tract. I want to add that. Click it, check this box, and then export it. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you all the columns. I'm going to show you all the data because this is a lot of data you can export. I'm going to check this box right here. You see, I turned it on and just click export. I'm not going to make it my default, but turn this on and then export. I want you guys to see everything. When I told you different data, you didn't expect this, did you guys? Now, on the bottom left, there's an alert. Okay, once this data is ready, I can just take it, open the CSV file, and then I can do whatever I want with it. I can save it as an Excel document or file, sorry. And then once I save it, I can do mail merge. I can do, write letters, specific, things like that. Look, you can even, I have all these data available to me. All right, let's go back. Instead of going, actually, let's go back to search. I'm going to click search again. You see, my criteria is still here. So, well, the map off market, that's my filter. But I can return back to the polygon. Let's return the polygon back. It's no big deal. And finish where I started. That's a simple polygon. Okay. Yes, this is recorded, Erica. And I'm going to send everybody that attended this class this. Okay. The video. All right. So you see this little notice right here, the notification is ready. I can click download, or I can go to alert. If you missed this notification, you see the alert also tells me that it's ready. I can click download. Let me show you the data that I just exported. Check this out. Look at all this information. Well, let me best fit all the columns. You see on the top left, I click on the top left corner in between A and 1. And then when I put my mouse in between any of the columns, I'm going to put it in between B and C. You see my mouse is a double arrow. I double click it, and now everything is best fit. So I have the parcel number with and without the dashes. Here's the property address. The property address is right there in Piccoli Ranch. So this is Piccoli Ranch, and this is the address broken down. If I scroll to the right, and if I want to target the seller or the owner of the property, I will send the mailing to the mailing address. That's where the tax bill goes to. That's why the mailing address might not be the same as the property address, because the property is Piccoli and the owner might have a different address. Speaking of different address, you see, like the mailing city, like this owner gets their tax bill where? In Los Angeles. In Los Angeles. Irvine, we have Honolulu, Albuquerque. So we have the owners from all over the country, as you can see. Check this out. After that, you have the MLS ID, you have the listing type, the last listing, like some of these were listed for rent. Check that out. Days on market that the listing was on. So you see how it combines the MLS and the tax information, and you can export all of that. Contract status, township name, subdivision code, which doesn't have that, but there's the subdivision name. You see, you have the tax year. Look, tax amount. But look at all this information, assessments, assessed values, market value. Whew. If they're absentee, oh, here's the estimated value, by the way, guys, like close to an AVM. I'll tell you more about that later, the estimated value. Next is who's the property. Is it owner occupied, corporate? Remember, those are the options. Absentee out of state, absentee in state, you know, exemptions, if they're applied for any exemptions. Check that out. Block, lot, section, county use code, universal land use. Ooh, a lot of information here, folks. We have plat, map, reference. You have the lot, acres. Look at that. Construction, new construction. No, they're not. Bedroom, bathroom, square footage, garage size, AC, year built. They're built in the 90s. Here's the heat, fireplace, construction type, exterior wall. Oof. Look at this. Does it have a pool, parking type, sales score? Remember the sales score? Yeah, it's exported too. And this is distressed. Remember, if any of these are in distress, we didn't see any, so move past that. Document types, recording, sale price, the last sale price, equity. Remember equity? Here it is again. Equity percentage. That's cool, huh? It even gives you the percentage. So if it's 100%, they have no mortgage. Scrolling. Mortgage. Look, it doesn't give you just one mortgage. It gives you mortgage 1, mortgage 2. If you scroll, this is just the mortgage 1 details. So if I scroll, what type of mortgage, it even tells you what type of mortgage it is. If they have more than one mortgage, look at this. This one has another mortgage, 2 mortgages. Okay, and it tells you the amount, the rate, how many years. Oof. And if they have that 3rd, 4th mortgage, look, it gives you all that. It's a lot of information, isn't it? One little export. Look at all the data I'm getting. Here's the owner information. You get emails. And oops, I passed it. You can also get phone numbers, but be careful. You see, phone numbers say do not call. You're not. I wouldn't test that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And the second owner. You see, it has all that information. Second owner. All right. All right. So you see, this is a lot of data you guys can just get from one little export, right? And then you can save it as an Excel file and do your mail merge from there. Not saving it. Okay. Oh, let me return to cart. I haven't even showed you the rest of it. Okay. So back to the Southwest Piccoli, the card I was working on. Select them all. You can also do mailers. Look at this. Click mailers, send mailers. Let's call it Southwest Piccoli. And then build mailing campaign. This is where you can do the postcards. You can do the letters or the break apart. So people, you know, have a little bit of fun with your mail. So you see here are the postcards. There's different type of postcard sizes. And this right here gives you the price for 189 piece. And then you have the letters, which looks like this. Or you can do the yellow letter, like a yellow notepad letter. And then you have the snap aparts, which look like this. Okay. After you choose the design, you click the choose design, then you personalize it. You include a message in there. You can, you know, you customize the message. You make sure you want to brand it with your information, like your picture, your name, your email, phone number, so that they can contact you. And then you order, which is paying for it, and then they deliver it. So that's how it works. And they're all different prices, folks. If you scroll down, you see these are the 4 options again: postcard, letters, yellow letters, or snap aparts. And after you select them, you customize them by personalizing them, add your logo, include your message. If you have a photo, let's say that you just listed a property, you want everybody in this area to know about it maybe, and maybe they have a relative that might want to move close to them, right? So that's a cool thing to do. So you can advertise, market, all right? So there you go. And after you do that, you personalize and follow the rest of the steps. But again, here is an idea of what you do. Choose the design, personalize, order, and deliver. Okay. If you run into any problems, you have the little live chat, so you can talk to a representative. Okay. And this is by PCM Digital, the company who does this. All righty, let's go back to Remine Cart. So that's the bill campaign right here, send mailers. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You don't want to export, you don't want to send mailers. What else can you do? You can do labels. I can go to more, print mailing labels right here. Select them all first. Select more, print mailing labels. And remember, who are you targeting? Who's the audience? So if you target property owner, you'll have the owner's name, or you can say current resident on the labels. The address, who are you sending it to? To the property, which is in Piccoli, or you want to send it to the owner? If you want to send it to the owner, change this over to mailing address. And then what type of labels you want to use? The most common are Avery 5160. These are the 3-column, 10 rows, 30 per page. So if I click the drop-down menu here, there are bigger labels, Avery 5161 or Avery 5162. These are bigger labels. Okay, but if you can find those anywhere, Office Depot, Walmart, you know, buy those labels. And then when you click print label, it creates a PDF file for you. You see on the bottom left, here's my PDF, which is an Adobe. When I open it up, it looks like this. And then all you have to do is hit print or download it. Download allows you to save it. I don't like to download it because when you download it and then the owner changes, then you have outdated information. So do it live on the day off. Because here's the cool thing about Remine. The shopping carts, remember I showed you earlier under daily, when there's deed change, owner changes, this changes here automatically. So you don't have to recreate the shopping cart again. So if you ever want to print labels, export, do it on the day off, and the data is updated on the day off that you're doing it. All right. That was, and the other one was removed, remember more. If you want to rename the shopping cart, you can always click up here. It allows you to rename it, delete it, or copy it. Okay. That's all about the shopping cart, folks. Good information in it. I'm going to just take up one of these properties right here from my search. Like, I don't have to go back to search. If I want to look at, let's say 9712 Quail Springs Court, if I click this right here, look, it pops open that information. Close the other previous. So here's that property. So it's off the market. Look, here's the value. Remember the value that you keep on seeing, $585,000 and 234. Where did this number come from? Most of the time, Remine takes the AVM from First American. The AVM, that's where this is. The AVM from First American. I'll show it to you when we get to it. This is a 5-bed, 3-bath, square footage, year bill. Look at that. You have all that information. Photos. Okay, this one looks like it has not been listed for a while, so there's no photo. If you have the photo, it grabs the photo from the MLS and it puts them in here. So this one is from Google. You see that, the Google Street View. As long as it's not in a gated community, you can see that. Okay, later we're going to do a quick little CMA. Let's look at the prices in this area, right? This property was purchased in 2018, currently has a low sales score. Look at that, it even tells you right here. Here's the equity, value, equity. Scroll down. You can look at the map, the parcel, click that so you can see it. It's like just pretty much the lot, you know, the parcel. You also have the flood risk, which are the other maps that you saw. Tells you FEMA location. It gives you the street view, and then you can move. This one doesn't let me move. Okay, let me close out. So these are these maps that we just went through. I'm surprised the map cannot be moved. Okay, I tried. Now, next is you have the key stats, building features, like pretty much tax information, public record. So you see right here, that's where we are, public record. And you get all this information. Legal description, census, mailing address, where the owner, where the building tax bill goes, remember, square footage, beds, bath, construction type, parking, lot. Property has a pool and a spa. Okay, net equity. There's the equity again. Scrolling down, next is the tax assessments, assessed value. Okay, the next part after the market value is the property history. So if you want to know how much did that owner paid in 2018, this is where it is. So there was a transaction. Oh, it's an intra-family transfer in 2018. Okay, scroll down more. Let's see how much Jesse paid. He paid actually he paid $200,000. Look at that in 2018. So you see, this is where you have the sale information, the last sale information. Prior to Jesse, so Kim sold it to Jesse. It looks like a family sale. That's why there's the intra-family resolution. But before, this is as far as it goes, 2000. So I guess these were the original owners. So it looks like there was a divorce. Okay, next is the mortgage information. School. You can open up the school and look at the school. And look at the cool thing is you also include the school ratings right next to it. Scrolling down. Okay, now everybody, the valuation. If you ever talk to somebody, an owner of a property or somebody in your neighborhood, right, who think that they know everything. Why? People have a lot of sources now. Like, let's say that if you are talking to somebody from the public, what do they use? Zillow. You ever heard Zillow? So people just go to Zillow, boom, what do they have? The Zillow estimate value, right? From there, they think, oh, that's the price of my property, right? Now they feel like they know more than you do, don't they? That's like you're at a disadvantage, aren't you? But check this out. With this program right here, when I scroll down, you see the valuation under this category. Look at this. What do you have here? So they already know when they go to Zillow that they have an estimate value of $617,000, right? And when you tell them, oh, your value is 585, remember it takes it from the First American. It takes it from First American because Remine chose them. They feel like they're the most accurate most of the time. That's why they use them, First American. But look at this. If you tell them 585,000, they'll probably roll their eyes, right? Because they think that, oh, my property is worth $617,000. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about, right? But now you have an advantage over anybody by pulling up their property record here. You see, this data is a lot different than what you have out there. This allows you to look at all these numbers and, you know, you have information. So this way, now they're telling you 617. First Americans tell you 585. Who should you trust, right? So, but here's what this system does also is it takes all of these, and when it averages them out, here's the average, by the way, 543. So if you want to combine all of them, average them out, but you also have an option here. What value do you suggest? So if you already know about the property, maybe you have done a comparable market analysis and you know that the property is worth 600 flat, 600 even. You can put 600,000 here and submit it, and then you can share it with the real estate community. So only realtors or whomever has access, a member of Las Vegas Realtors who have access to Remine will see that. So this is a nice little thing that you can do with evaluation. Like I said, we're going to do a CMA later and see, you know, we can get an estimate. It's not going to be a perfect number, but Again, these are all estimate. You see, estimate. It's not the actual number. All right, next, let's move on to demographics. Here's a little bit of information about the area. 62% graduated college, 22% have children, 2.2 average household, 71,000 income, and you have the average age of the owners. Cool, huh? That's demographics, by the way. And then you have the owner and associated people at the end. So here's the owner, Jesse. Okay, and these are the associated people, the previous owners. All right, a lot of information in it. Okay, now let's move on to the comparable market analysis. Let me show you how you can do it quick, easy, CMA right here. Just go back to the top, just click create CMA. And then I'm going to click here, create CMA 360. I'm clicking on Remine. I just went back to the top, folks, in case you missed that. I just click create CMA. Uh-oh, he's not giving it to me. Let's try it again. Okay, it just had a little hiccup. All right, let's do 5 bedrooms, 3 bath. Building type, I'm going to use single family only. I don't want to compare to condos, townhouses, or something else. Scrolling down, I'm looking for off market, meaning I want anything that's sold either on the MLS or off the MLS. Most of it is on the MLS anyway. Okay, so when I want anything that's sold within the last 6 months, you see that sold time frame. But if you don't get any comparables, you can move that a little bit, farther, up to a year if you need to, because some areas you're in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's do within half a mile. So again, this is just like criteria, like you're doing a search. It doesn't look like I have any results. Let me move this out of the way, click search. Oh, he's thinking then. Oh, I do have results. He lied to me. Okay, so now check this out. You have a bunch of 5 bedroom, 3 bath. And look, when I put my mouse on it, it tells you which the subject and number 1. Look, they're right next to each other. So it's sold for 500 when? Well, we can see that later. But it was only 2 days on the market. Look, listed for 479, sold for 500. Wow. So look, this one didn't sell for 500. Look, this one listed for 519, but sold for 485. Wow. Interesting, huh? So yeah, that's not a lot of results, but these are properties. Wow, look at this one. Number 4. It's not too far away. Look at that. And this one is the same, 5.3. It sat on the market for 54 days though. Must be something they loved about this property, huh? Okay. So now you know why the prices are all over the place. I'm sure they definitely use this one as a comparable. And this one must be pretty recent, I guess, because you saw the median price keep going up higher and higher. All right, I want to keep all of them. So if you don't want to use one of these properties, simply click remove, and that's how you can get rid of the property you do not want to use for your comparable market analysis. I'm going to keep them all, and then from here I'm just going to click save and continue. If you want to go back to the criteria and change it, just click here, edit criteria, takes you back to the criteria. Maybe you want to make any modifications. Okay, I'm happy with it, so I'm just going to keep these 4, click save and continue, move on. So the only thing you have to customize here is the cover page or the title page. On the cover page, you pick your scheme. You have offices here. If you don't belong to any of them, simply go to custom and pick your color scheme. For example, if you're with Realty One Group, you want to use the black and gold, for example. I'm just going to stick with Remine. You have a company logo. Click here, browse your computer, find your company logo, click it, open it. Here's my company logo. It will appear right here on the bottom right. The LVR logo. My photo is already there. So, but if I want to upload my photo, click this, browse your computer, find where your photo is located, and then click your picture and open it. And it'll appear on the bottom. Name of the client. This is for Sammy Smith. Just making it up. And then their name will appear on the cover page. So like this is prepared exclusively for Sammy. All right, and then prepare by, yeah, it has my name here. Save and continue. When I click that, it brings me over to like the comparable report. So the comparable, you see the price ranges from 485 to 750. So, and the average is 561. You see that? The list range, average list price, 564. Days on market, list price sell difference, seller concessions. Oh, there you go. There's something interesting, right? That's from the MLS, obviously. Estimated value, 564, the average list price. Okay, so you have all these data. Check that out. Demographics is included. Now, this part you can decide if you want to include it or exclude. So if I based on my comparables, the average is 561 sold. You could but look, the system takes 595, the average between these two, to be 589. If you want to keep this for your presentation, that's fine. The home valuation. Okay, you can add this to your report or exclude it. It's up to you to determine if you like it or not, to include this or not. Next is the comparables. These are the 4 comparables that I chose. Remember, I did not remove any of them, and that's it. So from here, let's go back up. All that is left is to print it. When I click print, here's the CMA for this address. Include the photos or not, or include the valuations or not. I'm including everything, so you guys can see everything. I'm going to click print. And it's only like 3 or 4 pages. It's not very big. It's not like you're showing them a book, you know. So this one is 3 pages because I only have 4 listings. Here's the cover. Here's the demographics. Here's the valuation. I included this, remember? And here's the comparables. And these are the comparable listings that I'm using. Okay, so it's 3 pages. From here, I can print it or I can download it to my computer. So I can keep it in my computer and do the presentation. Okay, that's it. See how fast, quick CMA I did from the property? Oh, when you're finished, after you print it, you remember, print it so you can save it or store it in your computer or give it to somebody. So click close and it returns me back to the property information. So that was CMA right here, folks. If you need to ever create a CMA from this system, just click this button. All right. And now this is the new button with the docs, Remine Docs. You can click create transaction right here and print, or if you want to print this information, the property information. All right, let's go back. That was from the card. Look, you see I picked the property. You don't have to do it from the card. You can do it from search. After you do your search, whatever property you find, if you want to do, if you want to see the information for this property, for example, simply click the card. Once you click it, it opens up the information. And from there, you can do the CMA and look at all the other stuff that I just showed you earlier. Okay. So this is not the same data, is it? All right. So again, that was the, I just showed you the search, the cards, but if you want to save a search, you cannot save the property search. It's just like a listing search you're saving. So when you go back to listing, you enter your criteria, like the filters, and then you can go to save search up here. When you click save search, give it a name. And if you want to set up the auto email, but don't do the auto email here with your clients, because remember, this system doesn't have specific criteria like Matrix does. Okay. That was search, save search. And let's move on to engage. This part, contacts. Before you do the engage, you need to work with your contacts. I'm just gonna delete my old ones. You see my friend I added earlier. Okay. If you have taken one of my previous classes, these are all my fake contacts. Let me do select all. Get rid of Mickey. Actually, I can't select all. Let me delete some of these. I'm going to show you how to import them. That's why I'm deleting them. All right. Oh, here he is twice. Let me delete one of them. Okay. So from here, you can add a contact here manually by clicking add contact. Just type in the first name, last name, email, and save it. That's it. You don't need to have all their information. If you don't have their phone number, that's fine. But if you already have a group of contacts, like I have on my computer, you all see where it says my clients, CSV. This is just an Excel file. I can just open up an Excel file, include headers, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, email, phone numbers, notes if you want. So have the information here, and then if you have the contact, first name, last name, address, email address, whatever you have. After you enter all that information on an Excel file, just go to File, Save As, browse your computer. I like to use browse because this little box pops open, and then where do you want to save it? Make sure you remember where you save your file. After you pick a location, I pick my desktop, give it a name, my clients, and then this is what you convert it to a CSV file, where it says Save As. Click the drop down and change it from Excel down to CSV. I like to use this one, the comma delimited CSV, but you also have this one, you see, comma delimited CSV UTF-8. So I like this one, the CSV comma delimited. Click that and then save it. And now I have my file on my desktop. And you can keep adding to it. You can always come back here, add people, Sammy Smith. smith@noemail.com. So you see, I can add people in here, and after I'm finished adding them, I just save it. That's how you can keep updating your contacts, right? So once they're all in here, I can bring them into Remine or any other program. This is not just for Remine. So to upload my contacts, you see this button here, upload contacts. Where's my file? Click choose. Go to my desktop. Remember, I saved it on my desktop. Remember the name I gave it, my clients. It's not here. Okay, alphabetically, my clients. Click it, click open. See? Now you see, remember I had the column headers on top. So my first column header was the first name, last name. Make sure they match. First name, last name, last name. I don't have address. I'm just going to skip the address part. They all have email, and some of them have phone numbers, and some of them have notes. So you see, they all match. And when I'm finished, but if you have address in there, check those boxes too. Okay. Everything that looks good. Click done on the bottom. And then click done. It's telling me that this will take a bit, but it's actually faster than you think. When I click done, you see now I have 22 contacts that I just added to my list of contacts. From here, select the contacts that you want to invite, like your buyers, remember? After you select them, remember the invite to step one is located here in the top right corner. Once you click the invite to step one, it sends them all an invitation, and now it's up to them if they want to, if they want to get their credit report. They can also search. They cannot. People can't just go to remine.com and start looking up properties. Look, search an address, zip code. Okay, 89117. If somebody tries something like that, Las Vegas, they get this message. Are you currently working with an agent? You see, people can't just come to this place and start using it. Hi, Christopher, you have a question? How do I mail what? I think I missed it. But you can ask me again. If you were talking about mailing, I did all the mailing through the shopping cart again. Okay, that's where I did the mailing. You can print labels, export, you know. Erica, can this take place of a CRM? The answer to that is no. If you need a prospect CRM, I teach that class too. That's in here. When you go into the single sign-on, is this one. This is your CRM, prospects. If you don't have a CRM right now and you want to use it, prospect is already automatically synchronized with Matrix also, and MLS Touch. So this is already synchronized. You don't even have to add your contacts. But if you have a list of contacts, you can also import them into prospect CRM. Like I said, that was the other class. I show you how to import. Same thing here. Okay, so now my contacts, when I click contacts, I have all my 22 contacts. This is just page 1 though. Okay. So I have 3 pages of contacts now. So I could go to next to view the rest of my contacts. Okay. And then after you invite them to step 1, how do you know if they're registered? Just go on the left. You see on the left-hand side, there's an option that says engage. Click engage, and you can see, like, I sent it to myself. I registered, look, registered with Remine 2 years ago. And after they registered, they can verify their identity, because they can't just say, hey, I'm John Smith, what's my credit score, right? And the system, after they verify, you see, it will, then Equifax will make sure that that's them, you know, through their, you saw all that stuff, that they have previous addresses and things like that I showed you earlier. So it verifies that's the correct person, social security and all that. And then that's when they receive their credit score. It will not tell you here though. You can only see if they have received it or not. Okay, that's it. And over here, you have the information, if they have done anything when they go into the remine.com, they can search, they can put properties in their favorites, things like that. It tells you everything here. Favorites, share properties, if you have shared any properties with that person, or save searches. So they can go into remine.com and save their own searches if they want. Or you save your searches here too. And if you save a search and you enter this person as the client, it will appear here, that save search also. Okay, so that was engage. Remember, I mentioned to you chat earlier. You can chat with anybody. You can just click on the plus, type in the name of the agent. I can look for Honey Borla, for example. Here you are, Honey. You see, I can just look you up. Oh, you have a twin, Honey Tejero. So click here, and then I can say hello to you. And if you don't have the program or you don't use the app, it emails it to you, the message. But if you have the app, you can also download the app. The app is all same, called Remine. You can download that app to your cell phone or your tablet. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is on the bottom, when you click your name, you have, remember I told you guys that you all have the pro version, right? So the pro version includes all the features I mentioned to you, because in addition, the pro version, you can put up to 10,000 properties in a shopping cart. If you don't have that version, you can only do, I think, 200. That would, well, let me show you. This is where it tells you. When I go to support center, subscription, let me tell you all the stuff that you guys are getting, that I covered in this class. Let me show you the feature comparison. So you see all the things that come with the pro version. You have the advanced search, that button on the top right. You have Docs Plus also included. So, oh, it's 500, not 200. So the shopping carts with the pro version, you have up to 10,000 you can put. And you can put contacts in here that you cannot if you don't have the pro version. Look, I showed you earlier, you have the buy score. When you pull up somebody, engage, do you remember the credit score? That's included in the pro version, the client credit report. These two are together. And you also have distress information as the pro version. And you get all this additional information. When we were filtering, remember, absentee owner, flood zone, neighborhood maps, property value, school maps, distressed properties. So this all comes with the pro version, folks. All right. Let's talk about your settings. Click your name, click settings. This is where I added my photo. So remember when I did the CMA, my photo was there, and this is where I can change it. Click change, upload your own photo, you know. Next is my account information, like what phone number, email address do I want to use? I can click edit account information, and I can put my favorite email address to use Remine and my favorite phone number, so that it appears whenever somebody, even when they log in to remine.com, they can see my information. Yes, honey, you have the pro. Oh, by the way, remember where I showed you? Click your name on the bottom, and you should say Honey Borla Pro. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so put in your favorite phone number, email, save it. Don't forget to save it. Scroll down a little bit here. Down here, you have the display preferences, your office information. You can edit that, except the only thing you cannot edit is the office name, because you're tied to that office. If you need to change your office, you need to contact membership. Remember that. Edit. Look, I cannot touch the office name. You can include your license number. Remember, my display name is Cat instead of Catalino. Display email, display cell. So you can put your email so it displayed on the reports or shows up everywhere. Okay. Next, office. You can impersonate somebody by entering their public ID. Let me see. See if I can look up somebody. Click here and look, but that has to be in your office, the person. I'm not going to impersonate her. Okay, next is the social profile. That's for team, by the way. This is team. Social profile. This is the cool page that I told you about. You can always use the page. This is the address to that page. https://remine.com/re. Once you set up your name here, you cannot change it. This name cannot be changed. And my page, I can include the company, my company logo, a background. See, I can choose which background. Let's choose this one. Okay. Then you have the welcome message on that page, title, message. You see that? And in that page, you can also include your social media pages, like my Facebook business page, your Twitter account, if you have a YouTube account, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Google Map. You can do all that by adding it here, by clicking edit, add those pages, save it. Now, done. You see how quick I created a page? Let's go back up. That's my social profile. So when I click view profile, or somebody enters that address, remine.com/re/Catalino. Look, here's the company logo. Here's that background, remember? And this is where they can log in. If they can only log in after I send them the invitation and after they register. When they register, that's where they enter their email address and they create a password. And then look, over here has the welcome message, my picture. It has the message, my license number, brokerage information. You see, has all the phone number, address, share profile, additional info. Here's my Facebook business page. Here's my Google map. Again, it will have all your social pages here. They can simply click on which they want to tweet. They want to see your Facebook business page. They can just click here. And if they're not somebody that is currently working with you, you can also use this as a lead generator. They can put here, Cameron Johnson. Oops. Johnson, and the email is cjohnson@noemail.com. I'm just creating somebody, and then they can click sign up. and then they can fill out this information and then sign up with you. You see, this is the registration. They can put in their first name, last name, password, create a password, and then sign up. Or they can sign up with their, if they have a Gmail account or Facebook account. Cool, huh? Kind of cool if that they can sign up with this, because now you'll verify that, you know, see if the person is actually real or not. So you don't get fake people. Hi, Erica. Let's see your question. Does any of these platforms have drip campaigns? For that, I would use Prospect CRM, or if you, yeah, CRM is the one that you asked earlier, I think, didn't you? Yeah, that's the CRM for that, for your drip campaign. You're welcome. No worry, at least you learn something. At least this system, like I said, the thing that you can do with this system is that you can do the prospecting. So remember the cards, export or mailing labels, or do the campaign. Hi, Michael. So much information. Absolutely, I'm recording this. This is it pretty much. Actually, let me scroll down. There's a little more. It's a little more, a little bit more. Over here, you have the when they go to remine.com and they log into their account, they can look up active listings, recently sold listings, and they can also I turned on the feature called Get Me an Offer. So the Get Me an Offer allows them to associate themselves with a with their property that they own. Let me log in so I can show you. Okay, you see I'm logged in because I registered. Remember, that was from the engage part. Remember the invite and all that. When I click here, I can click settings, and then here's my password. You see, I can change that. And here's my agent profile. You see, like this is my realtor. But when they click up here, they have an option here called my home. When they click my home, they can enter the address. You know, let me put that same address, 98. Okay, it doesn't let me type. Okay, Las Vegas. Oh, it's nice to have the number lock on, right? Let's say, click my home. And then look, it asks, is this correct? Is this your home? Let's say yes. Click yes. And then look, now this home is tied to me. So here's the Get Me an Offer. So somebody, boom, you know, look, check this out. Value, all that, they have that. Cool, huh? So there's like similar homes listed for sale. Look at that. They're listing it for 514 and 519. So, and then you're like, I want an offer for 520. They click this button, they put 520,000 here. Open to offers. And then when they save it, it emails you. It lets you guys know that, hey, send me an offer for 520. I'm ready to sell. Cool, huh? That was right here. The Remine, if you want to turn that on, just go to Get Me an Offer, turn that on. But then now I show you how the client gets to click that button. All right. Turn on the chat notifications, of course. This is just setting up a default. And over here, you have the mobile. Remember, if you need the mobile version, just click here, enter your cell phone number, click send, and then it sends you a text. And then all you have to do is tap on the text. If you don't have the app, it takes you to the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Download the app, and then simply next time, if you want to log in, you don't have to enter your information. Just enter your cell phone here, send, and then you tap on the link, and it logs you right into the app. You don't have to even enter a username or password into the app. Well, that is enough for today. We had enough, don't we? Didn't we? Huh? It's 11:49. So now you have another tool under your belt that you guys can use to look up properties, get more information about properties, all in one place. So this way you don't have to look up schools, go to this website, or you don't have to look at the tax information, the bed, the bath. You know, you can have listing, all that combined into one system. You have the credit reports. Simply add your client under contacts and send them an invitation. Easy. You don't even have to. And then when you go to engage, you can see if they registered or not. You know, you can keep track of the progress of that person that you send the invitation to. And with that, it ends our class. Let me stop the recording.